Follow the traces. Explore roots deep. Learn from the past. Futures to reap. Stay tuned for Qingqiao safety. Detective. Chapter 2. True Identity of Chandler. To track down Chandler, the mastermind behind the counterfeit currency gang, Newton dedicated himself to relentless efforts, working almost day and night on various criminal leads. At this crucial juncture, Chandler, the coinage expert previously recommended as Newton's assistant but coldly rejected, made a return visit. This time, Newton felt a tinge of irritation as he was deeply engrossed in uncovering the criminal leader and didn't want to interrupt his work for a meeting with guests. However, instead of displaying any embarrassment, Chandler informed Newton that he was privy to Mr. Chandler's true identity and could assist in expediting the investigation. Newton was so taken aback by this revelation that he had to interrupt his ongoing tasks and turn his attention to Chandler. Chandler's subsequent words were undeniably astonishing. William Chandler's origins traced back to Birmingham, a tumultuous place at the time. Bereaved of his mother in his youth, he was sold by his father to local craftsmen to settle outstanding debts. Chandler apprenticed with a master craftsman in the production of iron nails, acquiring proficiency in the art of metal thermal processing. Despite his skills, persistent poverty and hunger plagued him, as the master claimed the majority of his earnings. Furthermore, Chandler faced expulsion for disobedience to the master's discipline. Chandler, after wandering to London and facing unemployment due to lack of education, resorted to forming a team to produce sheer-type counterfeit money. Unfortunately, Chandler's endeavors yielded limited success, hindered by Newton's introduction of an anti-counterfeiting edge to the currency, thwarting this particular avenue of profit. Frustrated, Chandler, fueled by anger, self-taught the art of forging new counterfeit coins, ultimately creating some of the most realistic counterfeit coins in the UK. In this way, he became an alchemist who turned stone into gold, accumulating substantial wealth as his counterfeit currency network extended its reach across the country. Chandler, in a composed manner, detailed the intricacies of the sophisticated and highly intelligent crime, leaving Newton privately astonished and somewhat skeptical. Newton pressed Chandler to divulge how he had achieved such a significant scale in such a short span of time. Chandler smiled slyly, having noticed the inconsistency in criminal records across various cities. Compiling vast volumes of crime information is an arduous task, and tracking criminals across cities proves even more challenging. By targeting fringe cities in the UK, circulating new counterfeit coins, and iterating, he effortlessly amassed wealth. The simplicity of wealth accumulation left Chandler bored, leading him to seek amusement. He initiated the publication of popular science articles on preventing counterfeit coins, successfully crafting the image of a coinage expert. After all, he possesses genuine expertise in identifying counterfeit coins on the market. Not content with his current status, Chandler, upon learning of the renowned Newton joining the Royal Mint, took the initiative to expose and provoke the situation. Being well aware that without concrete evidence, even someone of Newton's stature would be powerless. Upon hearing all of this, Newton was genuinely taken aback. It turns out that Chandler, who made several visits, is the mastermind behind the counterfeit money gang, operating under the code name Chandler. This revelation incited both anger and annoyance in Newton, accompanied by a realization of his own oversight. He had failed to perceive the suspicious nature of Chandler. Not long after concluding this conversation, Chandler reappeared. He went as far as publicly accusing the Royal Mint of clandestinely selling coin molds, thereby contributing to the widespread counterfeiting issue. Additionally, he insisted that the government should dispatch experts like himself to supervise the mint. Newton felt intense anger upon hearing this accusation, but he grasped that Chandler's audacity stemmed from the belief that Newton couldn't expose his true identity. Consequently, Newton could only objectively reject Chandler's request. Faced with such brazen provocation, Newton did not remain passive. Unlike his impulsive youth, he now responded with quiet and composed demeanor. Newton strategically deployed a network of spies within Challoner's operations, steadily ascending through the criminal organization. Ultimately, he would reach Challoner and uncovered the incriminating evidence against him. Newton, adopting disguises after his official duties, covertly infiltrated London's bars and black markets. He gathered information, bribed informants, and even incited opposition as part of his undercover efforts. Ironically, as Newton dedicated each day to capturing Challoner, his overall well-being improved, and his previously scattered attention became more focused. On September 4, 1697, Newton apprehended Challoner, initiating a battle of wits that extended for over a year before culminating in a courtroom confrontation. During this period, Newton's spies deeply infiltrated Challoner's team, amassing a wealth of incriminating evidence. Newton strategically turned Challoner's closest assistant, leveraging him as a tainted witness armed with complete evidence and supporting witnesses against Challoner's crimes. Challoner's criminal career appears to be reaching its conclusion today. However, a dramatic turn of events unfolded as Newton's tainted witness temporarily withdrew his testimony just before appearing in court. Precisely the move Challoner orchestrated. In reality, Challoner consistently stayed one step ahead by misleading Newton from the very start. His meticulous efforts to establish himself as a mint expert and secure access to the royal mint were nothing more than elaborate cover-ups. Even before Newton's spies were deployed, Challoner had strategically infiltrated his own operatives into Newton's detective team, successfully executing a counterattack against the spies. As a result, every move Newton made was under Challoner's control. As a consequence, Newton fell for the deception once more, leading to Challoner's acquittal in court. A few months later, Challoner initiated legal action against Newton. Challoner delivered an impassioned speech, portraying himself as a mint expert with a genuine aversion to counterfeit coins. He claimed that Newton had falsely accused him of fabricating evidence simply because he had reported the secret sale of molds by the mint, a revelation that went against Newton's interests. Subsequently, Challoner presented evidence of Newton's interactions with counterfeit money dealers, accusing him of hypocrisy and blaming him for pushing the country's economy to the brink of collapse. At this juncture, Newton appeared to be powerless. Will the upcoming confrontation between him and Challoner introduce a new twist? Please stay tuned for the next issue, Detective of Qingxiao Safety.